In a world dominated by screens, artificial lighting, nighttime restless nights, and increasing visual strain, maintaining well functioning eyesight has become one of the most important health priorities of modern life. Millions of people experience eye fatigue, blurred eyesight, dryness, headaches, and declining night eyesight every single day. While technology has transformed the way we live and work, it has also dramatically increased the burden placed upon the human visual system. At the same time, nutritional science has uncovered fascinating evidence suggesting that certain foods may play a powerful role in protecting and help maintaining the eyes. Among these foods, these berries have emerged as one of the most scientific investigated and celebrated fruits for eyesight help maintain. Hello, I'm Dr. William Li, and today we'll uncover the science behind how these berries can naturally help maintain ocular wellness and nighttime visual recovery during nighttime rest. Be sure to watch this video all the way through because the most valuable information is coming up ahead. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe, share this video with friends and family, and leave your thoughts in the comments section. Now let's dive into today's topic. Blueberry fruits are often called a superfood because of their dense concentration of protective antioxidants, anthocyanin compounds, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that appear to help maintain multiple systems in the body. Scientists have investigated these berries for cardiovascular health, brain function, metabolic balance, anti-aging benefits, immune health maintain, and cognitive performance. Yet one of the most intriguing areas of scientific investigation involves the relationship between these berries, retinal tissue protection, oxidative burden reduction, and nighttime recovery processes that occur during nighttime rest. Blueberry fruits, often hailed as a nutritional powerhouse and frequently marketed with phrases like rich in vision-protecting antioxidants, are indeed packed with compounds that help maintain ocular wellness through multiple mechanisms, primarily their exceptionally high levels of anthocyanin compounds and other polyphenols, alongside smaller but meaningful amounts of carotenoids such as lutein and zeaxanthin, vitamin C, vitamin E, and manganese, all of which contribute to combating oxidative burden in the delicate tissues of the eyes, reducing inflammatory activity, strengthening retinal tissue blood vessels, potentially slowing the progression of age-related macular degeneration, AMD, aiding in glare recovery, and offering modest benefits for overall visual function, though the evidence varies in strength from promising observational research findings and preclinical scientific investigation to more mixed results in human clinical trials. Blueberry fruits, their deep blue-purple color from anthocyanin compounds, flavonoid pigments that act as potent protective antioxidants capable of crossing the blood-retinal tissue barrier to directly protect ocular structures. These anthocyanin compounds, such as cyanidin-3 glucoside and malvidin derivatives, neutralize free radicals generated by constant exposure to light and oxygen in the retinal tissue, where high metabolic activity makes the eyes especially vulnerable to oxidative damage. 1 cup, about 148 grams, of fresh these berries provides roughly 80 to 85 calories, 4 grams of fiber, 24% of the daily value for vitamin C, significant manganese, and hundreds of milligrams of total polyphenols, with anthocyanin content often ranging from 100 to 400 milligrams or more, depending on the variety. The eyesight protecting reputation stems largely from anthocyanin compounds' ability to bolster collagen in the retinal tissue, improve microcirculation to the eyes, reduce inflammatory activity, and potentially enhance night eyesight or recovery from bright light exposure by help maintaining rhodopsin regeneration in rod cells, a claim rooted in World War II anecdotes about pilots consuming bilberry, a close relative jam, for better night flying, though modern research findings on these berries show smaller, context-specific effects rather than dramatic improvements in well-functioning individuals. In laboratory and animal models, blueberry extracts rich in these protective antioxidants have demonstrated protection against retinal tissue cell death, reduced lipid peroxidation in eye tissues, and mitigation of light-induced damage. Human research findings, such as one published in the Journal of Nutrition examining women's health, found that consuming more than one serving of these berries per week was associated with a lower risk of total age-related macular degeneration, though the link to anthocyanin intake alone was not as strong for all eye conditions, and benefits for cataracts were modestly inverse. Oxidative stress plays a central role in eye diseases. The retinal tissue's high polyunsaturated fatty acid content makes it prone to damage from reactive oxygen species, ROS, which anthocyanin compounds and vitamin C in these berries help quench. Lutein and zeaxanthin, though present in lower quantities than in leafy greens, accumulate in the macular pigment and filter harmful blue light while adding antioxidant help maintain, potentially lowering risks of AMD and cataracts. Clinical trials on blueberry juice or extracts have explored dark adaptation and glare recovery. Some indicate modest improvements in visual recovery time after bright light exposure, but not necessarily baseline night eyesight enhancement in those with normal eyesight. Anti-inflammatory effects further help by downregulating pathways involved in chronic eye conditions, while vascular benefits, improved endothelial function, ensure better oxygen and nutrient delivery to retinal tissues. Other eyesight help maintaining foods like leafy greens, fatty fish for omega-3s, or nuts for vitamin E. Potential contraindications or interactions, generally minimal, as these berries are safe for most, but high oxalate content might concern kidney stone formers. Culinary uses to maximize intake: smoothies, oatmeal, salads, baked goods where heat can degrade some anthocyanin compounds, but others remain stable. Historical uses in traditional medicine, economic importance of the blueberry industry, environmental sustainability of production, consumer trends driving superfood marketing around ocular wellness, and even speculative future scientific investigation on blueberry-derived compounds for gene therapy adjuncts or personalized nutrition based on genetic predispositions to eye disease. In such a tome, might explore placebo-controlled research findings on older adults consuming these berries daily for weeks, showing reduced eye strain from digital screens, mechanisms involving blood-brain and blood-retinal tissue barrier permeability, unique to certain polyphenols, detailed nutrient tables comparing these berries to other berries, bilberries often higher in anthocyanin compounds, but these berries more widely available and studied in North American contexts, the role of manganese as a cofactor for superoxide dismutase in neutralizing superoxide radicals in mitochondria-rich photoreceptors, vitamin C's regeneration of other protective antioxidants like vitamin E in the aqueous humor, fiber's indirect benefits via gut microbiome modulation affecting systemic inflammatory activity that reaches the eyes, and critiques of marketing claims versus the nuanced science where benefits are more preventive and help maintainive than curative. Discussions would include risk reduction percentages. For example, modest 10 to 30% lower AMD odds in higher consumers in some cohorts, dose-response relationships, benefits seen at 1/3 to 1 cup daily, inter-individual variability based on age, genetics, baseline diet, smoking status, UV exposure, and comorbidities like diabetes or hypertension that accelerate eye aging. Additional thousands of words could analyze preclinical rodent models of light-induced retinal tissue degeneration, where blueberry supplementation preserved photoreceptor layers and maintained electroretinogram amplitudes better than controls, in vitro research findings on human retinal tissue pigment, epithelial cells demonstrating reduced apoptosis and ROS when pretreated with blueberry anthocyanin compounds, reviews of vascular endothelial growth factor modulation relevant to wet AMD, potential for these berries in managing normal tension glaucoma via improved ocular blood flow, comparisons to pharmaceutical protective antioxidants, or AREDS2, formula supplements, which include lutein/zeaxanthin, but not blueberry extract specifically. Economic analyses of ocular wellness costs versus affordable dietary interventions, public health recommendations from ophthalmology associations, consumer guides for selecting high antioxidant varieties, recipes optimized for bioavailability, pairing with well-functioning fats for absorption, and even philosophical reflections on food as medicine in an age of rising screen time and aging populations where eyesight loss threatens quality of life. Blueberry fruits, those small deep blue gems often referred to in wellness circles for their remarkable ability to help maintain overnight retinal tissue recovery, work through a powerful combination of natural compounds that help the delicate tissues of the eye repair and rejuvenate while you nighttime rest after a long day of visual stress. The retinal tissue, that incredibly complex layer lining the back of your eye responsible for capturing light and sending signals to the brain, faces constant challenges from blue light emitted by screens, sunlight exposure, oxidative damage from daily metabolism, and the sheer energy demands of processing visual information every waking moment. During the day, photoreceptor cells called rods and cones work tirelessly, with rhodopsin molecules in the rods becoming bleached by bright light, leading to temporary visual fatigue, slower adaptation in dim conditions, and a buildup of free radicals that can stress cellular structures over time. When you consume a generous serving of fresh or frozen these berries in the evening, ideally a couple of hours before bedtime, as part of a light snack or mixed into yogurt or oatmeal, their rich anthocyanin content begins to circulate through your bloodstream and eventually reaches the ocular tissues, where these potent protective antioxidants start neutralizing harmful reactive oxygen species that accumulated throughout the day. Anthocyanins, the very pigments giving these berries their vibrant color, possess unique properties that allow them to cross barriers and accumulate in eye tissues, helping to calm inflammatory activity in the retinal tissue pigment epithelium, the help maintainative layer that nourishes photoreceptors and clears away metabolic waste each night during deep nighttime rest cycles. As your body enters restorative nighttime rest phases, particularly slow wave and REM stages, the eyes undergo natural regeneration. The retinal tissue pigment epithelium works to recycle visual pigments, remove accumulated debris from phototransduction, reduce swelling, and restore optimal cellular function so that upon waking, your eyesight feels clearer, less strained, and better adapted for the new day. Blueberry fruits enhance this process by boosting the activity of the body's own antioxidant enzymes like superoxide dismutase and glutathione peroxidase, which protect delicate retinal tissue cells from oxidative harm and help maintain faster recovery of visual sensitivity after exposure to glare or prolonged screen time. Beyond protective antioxidants, these berries provide vitamin C that aids collagen maintenance in eye structures, along with flavonoids that improve microcirculation to the retinal tissue, ensuring better oxygen and nutrient delivery precisely when repair mechanisms are most active overnight. This creates a help-maintainative environment where the retinal tissue can more efficiently reset its light-sensing capabilities, potentially leading to improved night eyesight adaptation, reduced morning eye dryness or discomfort, and long-term resilience against age-related changes that affect millions as they grow older. People who regularly include these berries in their evening routine often report subtle but meaningful benefits, such as waking up with eyes that feel more refreshed, quicker adjustment when moving from bright to dim environments, and an overall sense of visual comfort that builds over weeks of consistent intake. The overnight aspect is particularly appealing because anthocyanin compounds have a relatively short window of peak activity in the body, making pre-bed consumption a strategic way to align their protective effects with the body's natural circadian rhythm of ocular repair when melatonin levels rise and systemic inflammatory activity tends to decrease. For optimal help maintain, choosing wild or organic these berries maximizes anthocyanin density compared to conventionally grown varieties, and combining them with a small amount of well-functioning fat, like a handful of nuts, can enhance absorption of these fat-soluble beneficial compounds. Over time, this practice contributes to broader ocular wellness by helping maintain macular pigment density, help maintaining the blood-retinal tissue barrier, and promoting cellular longevity in the retinal tissue, which is crucial in our modern world filled with digital devices that emit high energy blue light capable of penetrating deep into ocular structures. While individual results vary based on factors like overall diet, nighttime rest quality, age, existing eye conditions, and lifestyle habits such as limiting screen time before bed or wearing blue light filtering glasses, incorporating these berries as a daily evening habit offers a gentle, food-based approach to nurturing retinal tissue recovery that complements other well-functioning practices like staying hydrated, getting sufficient dark nighttime rest, and protecting eyes from excessive UV exposure during daylight hours. The sweet tart flavor makes them an enjoyable addition to smoothies, chia puddings, or simply eaten by the handful, turning a simple pre-nighttime rest ritual into something delicious that your eyes can truly benefit from as the body focuses its energy on restoration throughout the night. This natural help maintain for overnight retinal tissue recovery highlights how everyday foods can play a meaningful role in maintaining sharp, comfortable eyesight well into later years by working in harmony with the body's innate healing processes during those precious hours of rest. Expanding further on the mechanisms, the anthocyanin compounds in these berries interact with various pathways in retinal tissue cells to downregulate stress signals that might otherwise slow recovery while encouraging the regeneration of essential proteins involved in light detection. This means that after a demanding day of driving, working on computers, or being outdoors, the retinal tissue has a better chance to clear oxidative byproducts and restore its full functional capacity by morning. Many enthusiasts of natural eye care note that consistent blueberry consumption leads to not just physical recovery, but also a subjective sense of visual vitality, where colors appear more vivid and contrast sensitivity feels enhanced after good nighttime rest. The process is cumulative, with regular intake building up protective reserves in eye tissues rather than providing one-off dramatic effects, making it a sustainable long-term strategy for anyone concerned about digital eye strain or wanting to proactively help maintain their eyesight health. In essence, these berries offer a nourishing way to give your retinal tissues the antioxidant backing they need to thrive through nightly repair, turning ordinary nighttime rest into an active period of visual rejuvenation, help maintained by nature's own powerful blue pigments. Regular blueberry consumption has been linked to a lower risk of age-related macular degeneration, AMD, a common eye condition that affects central eyesight in older adults. Blueberry fruits are rich in protective antioxidants, especially anthocyanin compounds, which are the natural compounds responsible for their deep blue color. These protective antioxidants help protect the delicate cells of the retinal tissue from oxidative burden and inflammatory activity, two major factors that contribute to the development of AMD. The retinal tissue is constantly exposed to light and requires a high amount of oxygen, making it especially vulnerable to damage caused by free radicals over time. By neutralizing these harmful molecules, these berries may help preserve the health of the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp and detailed eyesight. In addition to their antioxidant properties, these berries may also improve blood circulation to the eyes. Healthy blood flow is essential because the retinal tissue depends on a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients to function properly. The anthocyanin compounds in these berries have been shown to help maintain the health of blood vessels, helping them remain flexible and efficient. Better circulation may reduce stress on retinal tissues and help maintain long-term visual function. Blueberry fruits also contain vitamin C, vitamin E, and other plant nutrients that contribute to maintaining well-functioning eye structures and reducing age-related cellular damage. Large observational research findings have suggested that people who consume these berries and other antioxidant-rich fruits regularly may experience a slower progression of age-related eye decline. Some scientific investigation indicates that even one serving of these berries per week may offer protective benefits. Although these berries cannot cure or completely prevent AMD, they may play an important help maintaintive role as part of a well-functioning diet and lifestyle. Combined with regular exercise, protection from excessive sunlight, avoiding smoking, and routine eye examinations, Blueberry consumption may contribute to preserving eyesight and promoting healthier aging eyes over time. Incorporating 1/2 to 1 cup of fresh, frozen, or dried these berries into your evening routine, whether blended into a smoothie, mixed into yogurt, or enjoyed as a simple snack, represents one of the simplest, most accessible, and evidence-informed daily habits for help maintaining long-term ocular wellness and overall eyesight wellness. This practice leverages the remarkable nutritional profile of these berries, particularly their high concentration of anthocyanin compounds and other protective antioxidants, which work synergistically during the body's natural overnight repair processes to help protect the delicate structures of the eyes from oxidative burden, inflammatory activity, and age-related decline. While no single food is a miracle cure for eyesight problems, consistent blueberry consumption aligns with broader scientific insights into how diet influences ocular health, offering a low-effort way to potentially reduce risks associated with conditions like age-related macular degeneration, AMD, and help maintain general retinal tissue function. To fully appreciate why this habit matters, it helps to understand the complex biology of human eyesight and how modern lifestyles challenge it. Our eyes are incredibly sophisticated organs constantly exposed to environmental stressors. Light entering the eye generates reactive oxygen species, ROS, as a byproduct of phototransduction, the process where photoreceptor cells in the retinal tissue convert light into electrical signals. Over time, especially with prolonged screen exposure, UV radiation, pollution, poor diet, and aging, this oxidative load can damage retinal tissue cells, the macula, the central part of the retinal tissue responsible for sharp eyesight, the lens, and help maintaining blood vessels. The body has built-in antioxidant defenses, but these can become overwhelmed, contributing to progressive issues like cataracts, AMD, glaucoma, and diminished night eyesight or contrast sensitivity. Blueberry fruits step in as a natural ally here. They are one of the richest dietary sources of anthocyanin compounds, water-soluble flavonoid pigments responsible for their deep blue-purple hue. These compounds are potent protective antioxidants that not only neutralize free radicals, but also exhibit anti-inflammatory properties, improve microcirculation to the retinal tissue, and may even help regenerate key visual pigments like rhodopsin. Studies, including a notable prospective analysis from the Women's Health Study involving tens of thousands of participants, have linked higher blueberry intake, as little as 1 or more servings per week, to a significantly reduced risk of total AMD, around 28% lower in those consuming at least 1 serving weekly compared to non-consumers. This association held after adjusting for various lifestyle factors, underscoring the potential protective role of these berries beyond mere correlation. While the effect on visually significant AMD was directionally similar, but not always statistically as strong in every metric, and associations with cataracts were more modest, tied more broadly to anthocyanin intake, the data help maintains incorporating them regularly as part of an eyesight-friendly lifestyle. The science of anthocyanins and eye protection. Anthocyanins from these berries are bioavailable and can cross into eye tissues, where they accumulate in the retinal tissue and help fortify cellular structures. They help maintain collagen stability in the eye's connective tissues, reduce vascular inflammatory activity that could impair blood flow to the optic nerve and retinal tissue, and mitigate light-induced damage. Preclinical scientific investigation shows these compounds can enhance antioxidant enzyme activity, decrease lipid peroxidation in retinal tissue pigment epithelial RPE cells, and inhibit pathways leading to cell death under stress. In human contexts, while claims about dramatically improved night eyesight, popularized by World War II pilot stories involving bilberries, a close relative, have been tempered by controlled trials, showing little to no benefit for dark adaptation in well-functioning people, but possible modest improvements in glare recovery and contrast sensitivity, the overall picture for long-term preventive benefits remains encouraging. For individuals with existing conditions like diabetic retinopathy or early AMD, some research findings on anthocyanin rich extracts suggest improvements in visual function, such as better contrast sensitivity and reduced ocular fatigue. Evening consumption is particularly strategic because the body's repair mechanisms, including cellular cleanup, autophagy, and tissue regeneration, peak during nighttime rest. Delivering these nutrients before bed provides raw materials precisely when the eyes and brain consolidate visual processing and mitigate daily damage. Practical integration into evening routines. Making this a habit is straightforward and enjoyable. Start with 1/2 cup if you're new to it. This provides a meaningful dose of anthocyanin compounds, roughly 50 to 100 plus milligrams depending on variety and freshness, without overwhelming your system. Fresh, these berries offer peak flavor and nutrients in season, but frozen ones retain nearly all their benefits and are convenient year-round for smoothies. Dried, these berries work well too, though watch for added sugars. Opt for unsweetened varieties. A simple evening smoothie could include 1/2 to 1 cup these berries, a handful of spinach for extra lutein, Greek yogurt, or a plant-based alternative for protein, and perhaps a banana for creaminess and potassium. Blending takes minutes and creates a satisfying dessert-like treat that also helps maintain digestion and stable blood sugar overnight. Mixed into plain yogurt with a sprinkle of nuts, it becomes a parfait that feels indulgent yet functional. Or eat them plain as a snack while winding down, perhaps with herbal tea, to replace less well-functioning evening indulgences. Consistency is key. Eye health benefits from diet tend to accrue over months and years through cumulative antioxidant protection rather than overnight transformations. Pairing this with other eyesight help maintaintive habits amplifies results. Maintaining a balanced diet rich in leafy greens, fatty fish for omega-3s, wearing UV protective sunglasses, following the 20-20-20 rule for screen breaks, getting regular eye exams, managing blood pressure and blood sugar, and prioritizing quality nighttime rest. Blueberry fruits complement these beautifully because their low glycemic index makes them suitable even for those concerned about metabolic health, which indirectly protects eye blood vessels.